All right, good morning. We're talking about surface area today, and specifically about prisms and cylinders. The first thing that you might be asked to do is to draw a net. A net is a two-dimensional pattern that you can fold to make a three-dimensional figure. So what they're talking about is something like this. If I have this prism, okay, it has, here we go, it has a front and a back, it has a side, and it has a top and a bottom. They want to know what it would look like if we unfolded it to two dimensions, meaning it's flat. Okay, it's now flat. So in this net, this was the bottom of our shape. This was the front and the back. This face was the side. This one was the top. And this one was the other side. So that when you fold it back together, you have that prism. So drawing a net means making that particular picture and being able to label which thing is which. When you're actually looking for the surface area of a prism, what you will do, you can draw a net of the prism. For some people, they find that very, very helpful. I would not say that you have to draw the net first, but then you're finding the area of every face, and then you're adding it all together. So in our example here, we had our front and our back. They're basically the same size. We had our bottom and our top. Those two would be the same size. And then we would have the left and the right sides. They would be the same size. And once you find the area of each of the 6 of those faces, then you add them together. Here would be an example of a prism that is not 6 sides. This is a triangular prism. All the other sides are rectangles, so it is a prism. And if I opened this up to be a net, you would see that I would have the bottom and the 2 sides and the 2 triangles. So these triangles would be the same size, these sides would be the same size, and the base would be by itself. So I would find the area of all 5 sides and add it together, and that would be the area of my prism. Now we're going to look at a cylinder. So I want you to think for a minute, what will this cylinder look like if I opened it up and drew it like a net? So my circles come out, and this part would unfold to be a rectangle. Okay? So when I'm looking for the area, the surface area of all of this flat piece now, I would have 2 circles. They're the same size. So I would use my formula for area of a circle, radius squared times pi, and I would double that because I have 2 circles. And then I have this rectangle. Now it's going to tell you this part. It'll tell you that. How wide is that between your bases? But the length of it has a relationship to that circle. It's the same as the circumference. The rectangle is the same distance long as the distance around that circle. So remember, you find the circumference by taking the diameter times pi. So we will need, on this rectangle, instead of just length times width or base times height, our base is finding the circumference. So we are going to do pi times diameter, and then multiply it by the height. And that's how we will find the surface area of the cylinder. So now we need to try some.